Hello, so I wanted to kind of continue on with a previous video that I made. I may not have posted yet, but that was because that when I actually made it, I had this like sudden epiphany at about 4 a.m. in the morning, and it was built up out of pure inspiration from Nikki Blackadder and Jasmine Garcia. They both have been in Australia to do the Arnold Classic. With Gymshark, they had a stall there in Melbourne, and I unfortunately missed out because I didn't know about it. Which, I mean, if I had have known about it, would that have mean that I was able to actually get there? And I don't think so, because the dates were within school hours, so pretty much not going to happen. Yeah, it's enlightened me. I mean, I watched Gymshark episodes from the Arnold Classic with their trip to Melbourne, Australia, and it was great to see Nikki Blackadder in a different light. And Steve Cook was there, which is great. I've seen him before, and I really love his shows, and I love his personality and YouTube channel. He's also really great because he collaborates with other athletes, and I love working out. I love learning. And I mean, sometimes like I learn better from males than females. With females, the first thing that comes to mind is obviously I am a woman and I need to know correct workouts and technique and things like that. Especially helps coming from a woman who knows women's physique and how to get to a place that I pretty much want to go and be. So, but sometimes it's nice to change it up and get to know what guys do, and they are very interesting creatures. I absolutely love guys. They are wicked. And I just mean like in terms of like them as people. Nothing to do with relationships, sexual annotations to that. So yeah, it's just I grew up with guy friends, and just I really prefer the male species, like the cool ones that are really quite cool with themselves, but that goes for all people really. It's just that sometimes I can still draw something different from the boys than I do with the girls. Anyway, so during the time that I was watching the Gymshark episodes for the Arnold Classic in Melbourne, Australia, I also found my vision videos that were made with Gymshark to do with these same athletes. So they had Lex Griffin, they had Paige Hathaway. Oh, no, actually, I didn't think I saw a Paige Hathaway story. I saw a Jasmine Garcia story and a Nikki Blackadder story. And it was the most emotionally charged video I've ever seen of Nikki Blackadder talking about her life and her upbringing and just where she came from and just why she actually started her YouTube account. And once I watched Jasmine Garcia's video about why she started YouTubing, was pretty amazing and really quite inspirational. So the gist of it really for both of them was that they were pretty much wanting to pull out of an unhealthy lifestyle that they may have been living at the time for different reasons between the both of them. And, when you're in an unhealthy relationship, lifestyle, when you're partying with friends and drinking and you just, you're socially kind of like just, I guess, exhausting yourself in that way, you start to feel like shit generally. And to transition out of that kind of lifestyle can be quite hard for other people around you who aren't ready for that. They haven't had that epiphany. They haven't had that moment to kind of think, you know what, I'm getting sick and tired of waking up like every morning and feeling like crap, feeling like I have no energy at all. And if they haven't reached that point on their own, then they're not going to feel what you're feeling. So with Nikki, she pretty much got to that point and that place. And as she got fitter and healthier, having finally stuck to the gym and doing weights for the first time and getting right into it and really loving it, and then actually shooting for a goal to compete in a competition of, of sorts, the more her friends pulled away from her and just couldn't support her. They just were not in that mindset, didn't understand where the sudden obsession came from, which is exactly how they all see it. It becomes this obsession. And she realized that, a few months down the track, that she's lonely and she's living a life where she's having to strike out on her own and learn this new person, this new lifestyle has led her to. So Jasmine Garcia's story is very different, but her lifestyle after losing her mum was very sad and depressed and lonely. And she kind of caged herself in and wasn't socializing. She shut herself in. But she describes that it was a journey that was necessary for her in order to change and grow. And she found her outlet with working out and was alone again. So both of them started their YouTube accounts outside of that for, social support from basically strangers. And for me, this is where I begin my story. So I'm a mum of 3. I'm married and I live in a small town called Micthara in Western Australia. And I've been on my weight loss journey, and I guess my health and fitness goal, since I had my very first son, which I should only say like my first child, 10 years ago. And I mean, I've had 2 more kids after him, so it was kind of like, it didn't really get to start until after I had Yelena, my last. So she was born 2010. And I've always been drawn to working out. Like, before the kids, I was doing yoga, Pilates, running, tennis. I was in the gym, and between a run, gym, and tennis, it was about 3, sometimes up to 5 hours in a day. Not consecutively, because like I do my run, gym, and then go to work or study, and then I'd play 3 hours of tennis and then rinse and repeat pretty much every other day. And the one thing I loved really was running more than anything, at that particular time, until I started learning Pilates and yoga, and then I was meditating and doing that, and it really met with my needs at the time and who I was as a person at the time. I had the time to actually sit still and meditate, breathe, focus, fall into this like meditative state, and I actually reached that point. Once having children, I had to formulate workouts that pretty much helped me be at home. It didn't cost me anything. It was free. And I found Body Rock TV on YouTube. The lovely Susanna at the time was the one heading it with Freddie, her partner. And that was great. I loved it. It taught me a lot about clean eating and things like that. So over the years, I've learnt a freaking lot. Like, I've done so much. Clean eating, paleo, juice fasting, the reset, the reboot, juice reboot. What else? Ketogenic diets, ketosis, working with changing your body to burn, use the fuel that's in fat. So teaching your body how to recognize that you have plenty of energy stores in fat. And that means limiting your carbohydrate intake so that it's not basically running on sugar. Really excellent idea. I didn't have the patience to keep to it. Even when I tried to go vegetarian or vegan, I was able to do that 6 months because I loved animals that much. And I still do. I'm an animal activist without being one. You know, someone else somewhere is going to place some kind of rules on me that you can't call yourself this or that, the other. All I know is that I love animals. I have envisioned a world where they actually have the chance to live and thrive and evolve into whatever it is that evolution would take them to, which I believe, based on what we are made up of, that they actually would be walking, talking beings of their own if we left them alone long enough. And for me, with my Star Trek mind, I would love to see that happen. We generally, for me, come from the same planet, so it may not be the same species, but we are one, to me, in my mind. So that's the kind of like love and let live kind of views that I have, and that's where my not eating other beings, I guess, stemmed from. I mean, people have their different ideas and takes on it for the reasons that suit them, but for me, it was easy for me to stop eating meat, cheese, all that stuff, you know, just exploitation of animals in every way, milk, eggs, all dairy, for 6 months, and I managed to eat really, really clean. It wasn't all that hard for me, actually. I didn't even like conscientiously say, today I'm not planning on not eating any animal byproducts or food. I wouldn't do that. I would just feel how I'm feeling and then eat accordingly to how I'm feeling, which was, I just want life-giving foods, you know, and fruit and veg. And I mean, there's so much that you can get and do with food. You can be really quite creative when it comes to eating and living that way. But then after the 6 months broke, I had a steak and it was just amazing. So, okay, moving along, because there's no point in even going on about it. I'm at a place now where, I mean, I'm in a small country town, and the one thing that means the most to me in all of my entire life right now is my fitness and my health and my weight loss goals. I am sitting at 100 and something kilos, and I mean like literally like 1, 2, 3 kilos, 101, 103, something like that. And yes, I do have scales. I just haven't weighed, but it's every time I've weighed for the last few weeks, it's always been around about that. And I constantly float between 90 and 100, or just a little bit over, and it's devastating. And the one thing that really hurts me the most with all of my training and all of my hard work is when I get a little bit tired. I would say tired really, because even when I'm stressed, shit affects me more. And I know that it's tiredness because I may not go to bed as early as I probably should. Definitely, you know, so things can get to me a lot easier if my nutrition is off. And my nutrition goes off just like that. If I have a moment of laziness from being tired, then I will eat and drink to my heart's content. And that's just that. That's what starts it off. Now, I have some really palpable, tangible reasons to keep pushing on, like my kids. You know, longevity of life for my children. I have a husband, and you know, he loves me, yes, and I love him like a lot. But I feel like it's my responsibility, you know, to him. Just a duty of care type of scenario. It's not like, oh, you know, don't sound like that, you know, he should love you for who you are. I understand those views, but he's my husband, and we've known each other since I was 18. He's seen all different kinds of me, and he's stuck by my side. So there's no question about where his loyalties lie and why. It's just that I have this like strong urge that it is my freaking responsibility to give him a really gorgeous wife that he knows that he can enjoy, because I enjoy it. I don't at the moment. That's just a fact. So he's going to feed off of that energy, isn't he? Because it's a very much in-your-face energy that if I feel down, if I feel uncertain, unsure, if I feel in any kind of way stressed because of it, it's going to directly affect him. And that's the responsibility that I'm talking about. It's my responsibility to show my kids what is healthy, because keeping this kind of weight on can and will definitely lead to food-related diseases, weight-related diseases, and it's just a fact. And with my makeup, genetically speaking, it's dangerous for me. And I mean, like, so that's what I mean. Like, I've got lots of tangible reasons why I should stick to it no matter what, that I could tell myself and talk myself out of actually having these thoughts and not giving in, to moments of weakness. But I just seem to not have done that. So now this is why I'm here. I can work out, but you can't outrun a bad diet. I can actually get going again and have really great weeks for so many weeks, lose some weight and look great and feel tighter and feel stronger. But then there's just this one moment. Okay, so for me personally, I just think that if I start from here at this process where I'm actually bringing you on board into my life to, I guess, help me virtually as my cheerleading team, then that will be, I'm sure, the thing to just push me through, that door. So that's where I'm at. I'm really sorry that it's red. I have these really strange drapes in my room, and I can't be stuffed opening them right now because it's my Saturday, and this is really, really lovely to me. It's not even Saturday. I had to pinch myself. It's Good Friday today. I do not have work. I am on my bed in my room, and I am obviously philosophizing about life and the things that matter to me the most in general. So that's what you do on your days off, because you can. And yes, I'm sorry about the shaky video. I'm holding it in my hand and it's quite heavy. So it'll get better, I promise. But yes, I'm not even going to edit this. I'm just going to share it to you. If you can hear my son's game in the background, he's playing Assassin's Creed. That's what matters to him. And yeah, I will be back with more videos. And I mean, like, I'll probably record much the same as everyone else, like Nikki Blackadder and stuff like that, when I get to that point. But the point is that you follow me on my journey to get there, because what I plan on doing is just using this as an accountability tool to get to that point. I would like to actually start using this and you guys to help me get to my goal. So at the moment, I'm using my isogenics. I'm correcting my nutrition. I'm focusing on nutrition at the moment, and my water intakes, my hydration, because it really helps to get things going in your body and cleans and clears the skin, your tummy, your body, if it feels like, like the organs are a little bit backed up, all of that. And then I will ease into everything else. I've got a Fitbit, so I go walking and running. I go to the gym now that it's 24-hour, which means a lot to us here in this small town. As I said, I'm in a very small country town in Western Australia. We are literally in the outback of WA. So there's that. And with our town gym, it's not huge. It's not amazing. I've seen some pretty amazing gyms on like different kinds of YouTube videos, and I'm envious, but you know what? You make do. So there'll be some of those videos to show you. And I just thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my shit and help me. Yeah. So stay with me, okay? And see you later. Have a good day.